Finished off with a sweep of the Cats. Central Arkansas wins this one 7-5, scoring in every inning but the first that they were at the plate. And it was finished off by Brandon Hagerla, the senior right-hander from Petaluma, California. 3-2 shutout innings. His last two wins have come on the road out of the bullpen against Oklahoma State and here against nationally ranked Sam Houston State. And the right-handers kind enough to join us now, and what a big weekend this was. The team coming out in a crucial series. The Bearcats came in, they'd lost 2 in a row last weekend. Obviously, y'all won 3 straight series, and to come out and earn the sweep here this weekend, talk about the morale boost and the momentum this team's carrying over to next week now.
Oh man, we've been huge. We had that little downfall when we played Missouri and then Vanderbilt and then McNeese, but after that we've really picked it up, and we've been trying to carry a lot of enthusiasm. I mean, I think it started in the first inning in the dugout. You know, as soon as every time Mark threw a strike, we would all try to be as loud as we could, try to be as enthusiastic as possible. And I think everybody in the dugout, everybody on the team, we kept our energy up and everything. I think it just carried us through the last series, and it's definitely today.
Yeah, I know that's one thing you talk about, trying to keep the energy up and that enthusiasm. You don't always hear that out of our dugout. You know, other teams do that, but, you know, sometimes it can cross the line a little bit and go the other way. But this team really playing at a high level. I know they were desperate coming in, and, you know, back and forth, they got some momentum, but the key at bats every inning, get the leadoff man on, and just what type of pressure this lineup can put on the opposing pitching staff, and we saw it all 3 games this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's what Coach Gum always talks about. That's like one of our huge philosophies here at UCA is momentum swings, and I think we've been keeping it a lot. I mean, even that last inning, you know, they kind of got riled up, but then we get the big strikeouts when we need them, or that we get those sack bunts. And we've been playing a lot of fundamental baseball lately, and I think that's been actually helping us out a lot. We heard a lot that they were going to be bunting, and then we came out here and we forced errors on them. We bunted in tough situations. We made them force errors. So I think that was huge in this series.
There's a philosophy in basketball, you know, teams that press a lot don't like to be pressed, and you saw that here this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
They like to put a lot of pressure on the opposing defenses. We did that to them, and you could see them. They were not poised, and they did not handle the pressure at all.
Yeah, they were struggling a little bit, but, you know, that makes it fun. That gets our energy level up, and you know, it keeps the momentum on our side.
We've talked about the starting pitching with Coach Gum, Davenport, and others over the last several weeks. I mean, what a difference this last month has been. Now that you've had Gray on Friday, Davenport Saturday, and Moyer today. Even today, Mark didn't quite have his best stuff, but he gutted through the 5 1/3 innings, kept the game manageable, and then it was your turn to go in and pick him up.
Yeah, I mean, those guys have been on fire. Those guys stay real poised. I mean, they came out here mid-inning. I mean, they weren't starters at the beginning of the year, but they came out and they've been just shutting everybody down, and you don't see it a lot in their facial expressions or body language. They stay stable. They don't get too excited. They don't get down on themselves. You know, about bad body language. But you know, they just keep doing that, and we'll keep seeing good things. We'll keep winning.
The evolution that you've been through over the last 3 years. Obviously, 2 years ago, you were a starter on these weekends in these conference situations. Tough year last year having to sit out, but still around the program. And now to come back this year and have a major impact on this team, whether it's starting early in the year or now, as we've seen, coming out of the bullpen in long relief and basically being another type of closer in long relief.
No, you know, I mean, sitting out last year was tough. You know, I do whatever rule I have to do. You know, whatever I need to do to win. You know, if somebody else needs to go in, you know, Tice and everything, it doesn't bother me at all. As long as we're winning, I'm having fun. But these guys made it easier. Last year when I wasn't playing, you know, they always kept me in spirit. I was always over here, but they'd always engage me and they always talked to me, you know. So, I mean, it just kind of – I always felt like I was a part of the team. So it made it a lot easier transition coming here. And I've loved these guys to death, and I thank you for that.
Then you talk about that. You know, you try to include you. Does it make it easier? Obviously, you did last year also to motivate you to keep doing your work, especially when the team's out on road trips for several weeks at a time, or as it turned out last year, for nearly a whole month, to keep doing your work and stay with that self-discipline and take care of yourself, because they're trying to include you and making sure that you're still a part of this team, whether you're actually in uniform on the mound or not.
Oh, yeah, it's motivation. You know, I think they ranked 5th, you know, last year in season, and that's definitely motivation. You want to earn your spot back when you get back. But, you know, I would try to work as hard as I could when they were gone. And I think it's paying off a little bit, but you know, hopefully we can keep going.
You bring a little change of pace to the rotation. You know, a lot of hard throwers between Davenport, Moyer, and even Tice out of the bullpen. You know, Gray can mix up a little bit, but you're more you do throw hard, but you know your job is to come out and keep the hitters off balance with that changeup, get ground balls, and get outs.
Yeah, definitely. I'm the pitch to contact guy. You know, I don't have many strikeouts on the year, but I also don't have many walks. So I mean, that's what I kind of pride myself for. So I try to pitch to contact and just let everybody else take care of it, because I mean these guys are dynamite in the field. You know, outfielders making all the plays. I hardly ever see errors when I'm out there. for anybody. So I love it. I mean, I'll pitch to contact all day. I don't worry about strikeouts.
Which is funny because you say you pitch to contact, don't strike out a lot, but when the game is on the line in the ninth inning, they had 2 on, nobody out, strikeout looking, and a strikeout swinging to end the game.
I think that comes more from the catcher in my point of view. I mean, he's calling great pitches and everything. So I mean, when those big situations come up, he's calling the right pitches, and that's on him. I mean,
you bring up a good point. Everybody talks about the infield and the outfield and the defense, but the weapon we have behind the plate with William Hancock catching defensively, calling the game for the pitchers, having confidence in him. If you leave a breaking ball on the turf, he'll come up with it, making throws wherever he needs to be, and kind of setting the defense.
Yeah, it's definitely a confidence booster when you're in the mound when you know you have a guy like that. I mean, you're not worried about steals. You're not really worried about the runner on base, so you can really focus on just throwing strikes and getting up there and doing whatever you can. Important
week coming up. All this momentum the Bears have gotten over the last month, and you know you've got to keep focused because you could lose it real quick on a weekend when you go to a tricky place like Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been there, but I've heard nice things. But we got to focus on. We play Euler Tuesday, Dickie Stevens.
Absolutely.
So we're coming out here practicing tomorrow. We're probably gonna have to work out in the morning, but you know it's all part of the program. So we'll come out tomorrow and we'll start focusing on Tuesday's game, and then after that, we'll take one day at a time.
Thanks for your time.
Absolutely, Steve. Thank you.